Hey, what do you say, folks? I told you I was going to start making you more videos, so I'm going to make you this video about the feminized culture. That's feminized, as in femaleized. And now I'm sure all you're aware kind of that there's a feminized agenda to kind of feminize the culture, to try to make it over into a total, like a female construct. Now, is there anything wrong with that? Not really. And the reason why there's nothing wrong with that is because the universe itself is female. There's more women than there are men. So for men to dominate women on this planet is fucking ridiculous. Okay. If you had a situation where women weren't oppressed, they would far surpass men in ideology, philosophy, understanding, anything that requires thought. Okay, because women multitask better. If you ever watch a woman, she multitasks much better than a man. She thinks about different things at once much more efficiently than a man can do. Which means that, you know, if a woman ran a corporation, if she was to be in charge of the United States or the world or whatever, and all things were fair, where she wasn't oppressed and mind controlled and traumatized, and, you know, like the system that we have does to women now, then the world would be a much, much better place. However, since that being the case, since that should be the natural case, the mind controllers, the ones who are in control of everything, and that's normally old white men, and there's some around the world, there's some other colors, but if we call them the elites, pretty much everywhere, they agree on certain things. They agree on white supremacy. They agree on that white people will be the master or key race. Now, that's whether or not, even if those elites are black, yellow, or whatever, they agree on that. And the reason why they agree on it is because white people are the most controllable through the ingestion of facts into their minds. In other words, they can be led around with facts. Just led around with facts. And so that means that they're easily deceived, okay? Because majority of them don't tend to be deductive. They don't tend to be really deductive thinkers. They'll think more inductively, and that's okay, but they don't tend to think deductively. Like you sort of have to have soul to be a real good deductive thinker. And most white people don't have soul of the rhythm. Now, a lot of them do. And the ones that do are incredible thinkers. But the ones that aren't are typically the ones that get in power. And they try to keep those white people out of the way because they would ruin the system of white supremacy. And so the ones who are in charge of it, in charge of white supremacy, they're retarded, basically. They are inbred, and basically mentally ill. And they've been in charge for so long, they're so used to the way things go, until they just can't fathom anything else. See what I'm saying? So they like the outward, overall patriarchal construct. That's the God construct, where you have a God that dies, a castrated God that dies constantly, in all of the stories, you know, like in the Bible or in the Quran or in whatever other religious texts there are that are overt. I'm not talking about the covert texts, the overt texts, the ones that we get taught. Those are, you know, based on a dying God, you know, so your God died, so he has no power really. You see what I'm saying? Which is why, you know, people will sit there and they'll pray to it and, oh my God, and, you know, oh my God, God answered my prayers, and, you know, and all that kind of stuff. They don't understand, but they do understand. Some people do understand. They're living in a matrix. So whatever you focus on, especially if, quote unquote, more than one person is gathered in my name, you'll see a lot of the stuff that you pray for come true because you're energetically pulling it to you, because the earth is set up on an electronic grid system, and the grid can read your thoughts. Okay, so if you have more than one person focusing on the same thing, then naturally, by the way the earth is set up, you'll see some of that stuff comes to fruition, because the indigenous cultures around the world say that intent, that's the focus of energy, is God. So it's what you focus your energy on that will, manifest. And the better example you are, the cleaner, harder life you live, the difference between what you want to happen and what will happen will be shorter. See? So it's a scientific explanation for it. And it has nothing to do with God or anything like that. I mean, there is no fucking God. Don't even believe that shit. Okay? Not the way that it's explained. There is no God. Okay? That shit's crap. Okay? The feminized culture. So the way that the setup works is the mind controllers, the one that are in control, they want to feminize the culture, but they want to control it. And they want to make it a situation where it's oppressive. And is there anything you can do about it? Anything can be controlled, but you have to be aware. Are people aware? You got some awareness taking place through the internet. People, learning more information and stuff like that. So in a way, there's more awareness. But overall, there's less awareness because of the overload of information that people get on the internet, and it just it bogs down their actual thought process. And you'll see all those posts where people rattle on for 4 paragraphs about one comment. They got all that stuff in their head. See, and that's all internet, electronic media. They're programmed by electronic media. They think they're awake. Okay, they actually think that I am enlightened, but they aren't. The feminized culture, the reason why they want to feminize the culture is for a few reasons. The Tibetans say that the 2 strongest forces in the universe are the sex drive and the imagination. So that being the case, if you can control someone's input data to their imagination, that's to the unconscious and the subconscious level. In other words, if you can embed it all the way down into their genetic structure in that way, then you can pretty much, if you can control the input data, you can control the output. So with sexuality being the number one force that there is, that's the reason why the culture gets feminized, because women are already oppressed throughout history for a long time. So in general, most women can be considered, because they can't strike back directly at a man. They strike back indirectly, passive aggressively. And there's actually something good to that, because they're not confronting it directly, a person, but there's also something negative to it, because passive aggressiveness is actually, by any even uninformed psychologist will tell you that passive aggressive is being passive aggressive is a light form of mental illness, a light form of neurosis. So that means that the majority of women are basically, because of the oppression of the system on them, they have a slight mental illness, if nothing else. Probably 85% of them it works on. So by transgenderizing people ideologically through the media, it's just through the media. That's all, they just use the media. And that will create confusion. And so if you have confusion, there's a saying that goes, the least confused person in the room has the most power, you see. So the ones perpetrating it, it's the elite mind controllers that are in control of perpetrating the feminized agenda on society, are the least confused. They know what's going on. We, on the other hand, get all the information, and all of a sudden, out the clear blue, there's no gender. Out the clear blue, you got all these transsexuals. Out the clear blue, you got all these people turning gay. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. However, what does it do? It creates confusion. Gender confusion creates the most confusion. And the ones perpetrating the confusion, believe it or not, like I said, they teach us to worship the God. They, behind the scenes, worship the goddess. So they understand everything about the female. You see, all of the abstractness of her aloofness, her creativity, her artfulness. They understand everything about a female. They're hunters of a female. You see, if a person's hunting you or hunting something, they will study that thing like you won't believe. And then what will they do? Well, the person who's considered to be the father of modern advertising and public relations is Alfred Bernays, who was Sigmund Freud's nephew. And he said that if he can control the minds of women, he could control an entire culture. He doesn't have to control the men. I remember Tupac saying something real similar. He said, when I rap for the bitches. I don't rap for the niggers, because the niggers gonna do what the bitches want. And you get that old saying that goes, women they got half the money and all the pussy. So there's something to all that shit, see? So that lack of power that women have, traditionally, they seek the power in another way. So they will use their sexuality for the power, see? So Alfred Bernays figured that out. All he had to do was give women the idea that they have their own invisible penis. And then he could control what they do, and in turn control what the society does. So let's just say in the media, every single presentation you see of a female in the major media, that person is transsexualized. She's a white transsexual. And why does she have to be white? Because it's, first of all, it's white supremacy. And the white man needs to be controlled by the elites, no matter what color those elites are. They're all in it together. They need to be controlled by the elites. So you control the woman, and he's going to do whatever she wants in the end. You see what I'm saying? All right? And then he, on turn, will oppress her for the elites to keep her in control, to keep her controlled, okay? To keep her in control. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with controlling a woman, because she thinks that's funny. She'll let you do it if she likes you. You know what I'm saying? She'll go, ha, 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 ha. Oh, it boosts his ego, whatever. But being in control of a woman, that's feminine. Women are the ones that are in control. They're the ones that weave the spider web and everything. So when you go into a house, 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, no matter what, no matter how it looks on the surface or what it said, that woman really runs that house. Okay. So you heard that saying, it goes, happy mama, happy life, you know what I mean? So that's true. I mean, I've been in so many homes in my life, I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. And so you feminize the culture, you feminize ideologically, you just do it through the general media and you do it through academia. So you see academia also presents, there's all these, they'd be like, I learned in college back in the 80s that there was no gender. I'm so glad it's coming out now. That shit's wacko. Okay. And what it proves is that through repetition, that's why white people are used as the master race, because through repetition, white people are the easiest to change their minds through repetition, and facts. You can lead your mind around with facts. The facts just have to connect in a logical way. And you can lead them around. Now, there's lots of white people that know how to think. And the motherfuckers are cold. They're incredible. Okay. But the majority of them don't know how to think. Okay. Hitler even said, he said, fortunately for us, people just don't think. Okay. And then white people, of course, white people like that will always oppress other people of color, because they're taught that they are the supreme race. And it's born out of an inferiority complex, because white people have recessive genetics. In other words, if they don't have a child with a white person, the child won't be white. So they have to have a child with a white person. So white people can easily be mind controlled into thinking, we're gonna, the attack on white people, they're trying to get the white women pregnant and get rid of us. You see, so there's a lot to it. But you notice, one of the things you can notice is that guys, like, more or less, they talk like women now. Like, normally women will be like, they'll say something, they'll be like, I really like this remote. I like the colors of the button arrangement. They always giggle after what they say. If you notice, men do that shit now. See what I'm saying? So you only have to make the observations. You know what I mean? And if you notice, women, like, they have 4 or 5 words that almost always talk about. They'll say, it's something's good, they like it, they feel happy, special. So good, like, happy, and special. That's like women's 4 buzzwords. It's good, I like it. You know, and Facebook was even made for the female to feminize the culture. Facebook is a total mind control construct because it's like. I like. You know, I even make funny jokes sometimes. You know that you spell the word like. You know, I'm just over exaggerating, being funny. You know, but you know, women are like, I like those shoes. I like this jar. I like. You know what I mean? So it's good, and then they let us say good, happy, and special. They're freaked the fuck out over being happy, and they're really ate up about being special. I mean, how many romance movies have you watched? And you know, they'll be like, "Oh, she left you because you didn't make her feel special." You know, see what I'm saying? So all that neurotic bullshit that they oppress women to get the result, because if you control the input, you control the output. You can predict the output. See, so if you give them neurotic input data, like all the Hollywood actresses and shit, they're all neurotic. They're all fucking neurotic transsexual models. Actually, they're neurotic transsexual rape models, and that's what women intake. It's what they look at all the time. So they're not going to do anything but reproduce. You know, you remember Flavor Flav said on that song, she watched Channel Zero. If you want to know what's in a woman's mind, what her ideology is, what her main points about life are, just what all you gotta do is watch what she watches on television. And just look at the basic impression, the archetypes of what she's watching. That's exactly what's in her psyche. It doesn't matter how she presents herself. That's what's in her psyche. It's that simple. So, and TV is dumb as fuck. See, so, you know. I love watching Power. I love watching Sex and the City. I love watching, you know, whatever those sort of fucking stupid shit they watch. I don't watch any of that dumbass shit. So, anyway, so the feminization of the culture is designed to transsexualize the culture. The leading lady is a white transsexual. To control the white male, she's transsexualizing from female to male. So she's growing a dick ideologically, which was Alfred Bernays construct. Give them the idea of their own invisible penis. And what does all this do? It creates a bunch of confusion in the culture, and women have the herding instinct. So what they do is they basically, without even knowing it, they force men to be feminine while they're becoming masculine. See, so wanted to make that video for you. Told you I'd make more videos for you. I'll make some more for you coming up soon. Folks are the best. Have a great night.